Devasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhakti bhavati naishtiki Om Jnana Tunandasya Jnananjana Shurakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahaganalanta Shri Vishakam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Stite Tattapanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhattacharya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Guru Prabhupada Tutu Shri Guru Jaya Sadhana Suvaksharara Smi Shakmadani Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Guru Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Shesha Shrimati Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pavamam Guru Yakrika Pavamam Vande Shri Guru Digata So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1. We are on text 11. Rini bhuri karmani shrotavyani vibhagasah ataha sadhutra yatsaram samudritya manishaya bruhi bhadraya bhutanam yenatma suprasidati. There are many varieties of scriptures, and in all of them there are many prescribed duties, which can be learned only after many years of study in their various divisions. Therefore, O sage, please select the essence of all these scriptures and explain it for the good of all living beings, that by such instruction the hearts may be fully satisfied. So we have read in the introduction, right? How Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended the Srimad Bhagavatam. So why he has recommended the Srimad Bhagavatam, the reason is given here. Because this Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all scriptures. All right? So we can make a note of this. Why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't say this one, that one, this one, that one. He selected Srimad Bhagavatam because it's the essence of all. So we don't have to go running here and there, say, oh, what does this book say? What does this book say? What the 4 Vedas say? What the 5 Vedas say? What this one, that one, this Purana, this Upanishad, this one, that one. Okay? One book only, Srimad Bhagavatam, is telling us everything, so it's sufficient for us. Especially, so there are many varieties of scriptures, and in all of them, there are many prescribed duties. Purport. Atma or self is distinguished from matter and material elements. It is spiritual in constitution. And thus it is never satisfied. Oh my God, just see what Prabhupada is saying. Thus it is never satisfied by any amount of material planning. Right? We make one plan, we have one job, and then it fails, and we say, okay, the next job, then okay, like the next project, next one. And you are never satisfied by any amount of material planning. All scriptures and spiritual instructions are meant for the satisfaction of this self or Atma. So we have to remember one thing, so that you are all peaceful and satisfied in your devotional life. That, let's say all of us here, we want to preach, we want to give Krishna consciousness to others, all right? And we become frustrated because people don't want to take, or they take one step and they take 10 backward, right? So you're frustrated. So it's like this is your planning, okay, I will do this, and then I will make so many devotees, and then I will do this, and nothing works. So we should remember and know one thing only, that whatever preaching I'm doing to others, I am the beneficiary. Right? I am the beneficiary. Because in so many lifetimes, I have been trying to do the same thing. So even like if I look at Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, maybe some of us are in this studying together. So we know how shocking it was, our last reading. Wasn't it, Shikala? It was very shocking, right? How, so in Chaitanya Charitamrita, so we went back in the history of India, Bharatvarsh, 500 years ago, when the Mughal had attacked and conquered India. And they had suppressed all the practices of the Hindus, right? So Prabhupada said that it became only social customs and formulas. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, here he came, right? Here he came, he's again reviving the Vedic culture. Again, he's saying, doing the Harinam Sankirtan. Again, he's propagating the Srimad Bhagavatam. And after Mahaprabhu left, gradually everything again disappeared. Right, then Prabhupada came, the Bhaktivinoda Thakur came, again pump in the energy, Bhaktisiddhanta pump in the energy, and then Prabhupada is pumping in, and then here we are, right, doing our best, right? Oh my God, so it's like a hopeless work, right? So therefore, whatever endeavor you put in that direction, remember that birth after birth, you are the beneficiary and you're going closer and closer to the goal. Is it okay, Ashwini? What do you think of this conclusion? Tell me, Ashwini, what you think?
Yeah, Mataji.
I think we are sufficiently experienced, no?
Okay. Mataji, I was little bit doing some work, so I couldn't pay attention to you so much properly, Mataji. Just finishing some work. So sorry.
Okay, let's just continue now. All scriptures and spiritual instructions are meant for the satisfaction of this self or Atma. There are many varieties of approaches which are recommended for different types of living entities in different times or at different places. Consequently, the numbers of revealed scriptures are innumerable. There are different methods and prescribed duties recommended in these various scriptures. taking into consideration the fallen condition of the people in general in this age of Kali, the sages of Naimisaranya suggested that Sri Sutta Goswami relayed the essence of all such scriptures, because in this age it is not possible for the fallen souls to understand and undergo all the lessons of all these various scriptures in a Varna and Ashrama system. All right. All right. So meaning that we are trying to do so many things. We want to revive this Varna Ashram Prabhupada. Here Prabhupada says it's not possible. The lessons that we are supposed to learn in Varna Ashram, we won't be able to learn it. We can't go through all these different scriptures. The Varna and Ashrama society was considered to be the best institution for lifting the human being to the spiritual platform. But due to Kali Yuga, it is not possible to execute the rules and regulations of these institutions. For example, let's say the Brahmanas. I don't know what's the duties, which scripture is saying what Brahmanas are supposed to do. Like here, nowadays, all Brahmanas have to work for their living, right? Is it true?
Yeah.
All Brahmanas have to work for their living. Or
Yeah.
they just,
Yeah.
do some puja, give, some instruction, etc. And people are going to give them their handful of food, right? We had read earlier, Prabhupada says, even a poor man, you go to a poor man's house, he will give you one handful of grain and the Brahmana will be satisfied, right? He will go to so many houses, Nobody say, what will I do with your handful of grain? I have to send my children for education. Otherwise, what will be their future, right? The whole mess up has happened, right? So it doesn't work. It was considered the best institution, but now we can't. Nor is it possible for the people in general to completely sever relations with their families as the Varnashram institution prescribed. The whole atmosphere is surcharged with opposition. And considering this, one can see that spiritual emancipation for the common man in this age is very difficult. The reason the sages presented this matter to Sri Sutta Goswami is explained in the following verses. So another problem is that, so there are so many rules and regulations. And then the other thing is that, nor is it possible for the people in general to completely sever relation with their families. The Varnashram institution prescribe, like sannyasis, right? They're supposed to take sannyas. But this poor sannyasi, he'll starve because people are impious. People are impious, right? Previously, the sannyasi could just walk. They sit on the bank of the Ganges and somebody will bring food for him, right? If you look now, what we have to do, we have to build ashram. We have to put a whole thing of devotee care, right? Otherwise, all our elderly preachers and sannyasis, what happened to them, right? Even I heard, this lecture on Buddhist, the Buddhists. So the Buddhists, they were exactly like that. They just walked. How did Buddhism spread? Buddhism spread because those Buddhist monk, meaning from childhood, once they become monk from childhood, young men, they never stayed anywhere. They walked village to village, and they just talk to their wives. They go begging village to village, and these wives are coming and giving them some donation, some food, right? And they will convince the wife, and the wife will convince the whole family. So that's how the whole of India became Buddhist. Through all these monks going, walking village to village, right? They were maintained that way. But then the Buddhist monasteries came up. Why? Because they became old. They became old, and this is what's going on here also in ISKCON. Today we're talking again and again, old age home, everywhere, everywhere. You know, for the sannyasis, for the preachers, right? So this happened with the Buddhists. So that's when the first time the Buddhist monastery took shape. All right. So in this Kali Yuga, here, Prabhupada is saying it is not possible for the people in general to completely sever relations with their families, as the Varnashram institution prescribes. The whole atmosphere is charged with opposition. Right? You want to do this immediately? Everybody say, no, 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 don't do this. Right? So, considering this, one can see that spiritual emancipation for the common man in this age is very difficult. And now will come the grihastha, these young men and women, they say, oh, if I'm going to follow all the rules and regulations of Varnashram Dharma, which say that I should work for only 6 hours, right? Varnashram give you only 6 hours to work, and the rest of the time it's all your seva, your deity worship, your bhajan, this, and you work only for so many months in a year. But they say, no, no, no. Now we have to go and get a degree. I have to spend how many hours I have to study, right? The whole story everybody knows. So the grihastha also is incapacitated by the system of Kali Yuga. So they don't have time. They don't have time to practice Krishna consciousness. So therefore, the sages presented this matter to Sri Suta Goswami. So we can understand from this section that, God, Ashwini, please be in your place when it's so distracting. Yeah, so here, meaning the system of Varnashram is being put aside. All right? Basically, from the very beginning of this Shrimad Bhagavatam, the system of Varnashram is being put aside. And the question is being asked, without Varnashram Dharma, how are the people of Kali Yuga going to progress spiritually? And we are very much interested to know the answer, is it? All right. Because everything is broken, right? Text 12. Sutta janase bhadram te bhagavan sadvataham patih devakyam vasudevasya jato yasya chikirishaya. So this is a series of questions. So the first question was, what is the absolute and ultimate good? What have you ascertained to be the absolute and ultimate good for the people in general? Second question is, tell us what is the essence of all scriptures. Now the third question is here. All blessings upon you, O Suta Goswami. You know for what purpose the personality of Godhead appeared in the womb of Devaki as the son of Vasudeva. Purport. Bhagavan means the Almighty God who is the controller of all opulence, power, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. He's the protector of his pure devotees. Although God is equally disposed to everyone, especially inclined to his devotees. Sat means the absolute truth. And persons who are servitors of the absolute truth are called Sadhvatas. And the personality of Godhead who protects such devotees is known as the protector of the Sadhvatas. Bhadramte, or blessings upon you, indicates the sage's anxiety to know the absolute truth from the speaker. Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Person Godhead, appeared to Devaki, the wife of Vasudeva. Vasudeva is the symbol of the transcendent position, wherein the Supreme Lord takes place. All right. Bhanuji, you would like to read the next verse? Bhanu, you are muted.
Go straight to translation? Yeah.
In text
Can't read the Sanskrit, Mataji, please. You can read the Sanskrit and I can read the power translation.
Tanna Shushrushamananam Arhasya Ganuvalitum Yasyavataro Bhutanam Shimaya Cha Bhavaya Cha.
O Sut Goswami, we are eager to learn about the personality of Godhead and His incarnations. Please explain to us those teachings imparted by the previous masters, acharyas. For one is uplifted both by speaking them and by hearing them. The condition for hearing the transcendental message of the absolute truth are set forth herein. The first condition is that the audience must be very sincere and eager to hear, and the speaker must be in a line of disciplinic succession from the recognized acharyas. Acharya. The transcendental message of the absolute is not is not understandable by those who are materially observed. Under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master, one becomes gradually purified. Therefore, one must be in the chain of disciplitic successions and learn the spiritual art of submissive hearing. In the case of Sut Goswami and the sages of Namisarya, Ranaya, all these conditions were fulfilled because Srila Sut Goswami is in the line of Srila Vasudeva. And the sages of Namisaraya are all sincere souls who are anxious to learn the truth. Thus, the transcendental topics of the Lord Sri Krishna's superhuman activities, his incarnation, his birth, appearance and disappearance, his form, his names, and so on are all easily understandable because all requirements are fulfilled. Such such discourses help all men on the path of spiritual realization.
Conditions for hearing the transcendental message of the absolute truth set forth here. What is the condition? What is the condition, the qualification?
That
Be-
both audience should be eager to hear
Yes.
and acharya should be in the disciplic succession.
A hearer should be very sincere. All right? Very sincere, meaning you are regular. The Nityam Bhagavad Seva, you're right? A regular attendance. Class of Srimad Bhagavatam. Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavad Seva. Constant. Very sincere. And eager. I want to learn. I want to know. I want to learn. I'm thoroughly interested to know how to reach the goal. And the speaker, now you may be, the hearer may be sincere and eager, but the speaker, he doesn't know what he or she's talking, right? He doesn't know. So speaker should know. How will he know? How will she know? Should be in the disciplic succession, proper Guru Parampara. Text. So they are asking now, we want to know about Krishna, the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. Text 14. Apana samshritim ghoram yannama vivasho grinan tatah satyo vimucheta yad vibheti swayam bhayam. Shikala, you want to read?
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Translation. Living beings who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, which is feared by the fear personified. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, teacher. Vasudev or Lord Krishna, the absolute personality of Godhead, is the supreme controller of everything. There is no one in creation who is not afraid of the ray of the Almighty. Great asuras like Ravan, Hiranyakashipu, Kans, and others who were very powerful living entities were all killed by the personality of Godhead, and the Almighty Vasudev has empowered his name with the powers of his personal self. Everything is related to him, and everything has its identity in him. It is stated here in that the name of Krishna is feared even by fear personified. This indicates that the name of Krishna is non different from Krishna. Therefore, the name of Krishna is as powerful as Lord Krishna himself. There is no difference at all. Anyone, therefore, can take advantage of the holy names of Lord Sri Krishna even in the midst of greatest dangers. The transcendental name of Krishna, even though uttered unconsciously or by force of circumstances, can help one obtain freedom from the hurdle of birth and death.
Yeah, so right now is the reign of the Asuras, isn't it? But what Prabhupada is saying here, Shikala, you're muted.
The name of Krishna is so powerful. There is no difference between the name and Krishna. So by taking the name of Krishna, we can come out from the greatest danger.
Yes, so Prabhupada is saying that even though these Asuras, the great Asuras, Ravan, Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, in the present, the Asuras, they were very powerful entities. They were all killed by the Supreme Lord. So, the holy name of Krishna is none different from Krishna. And the name of Krishna is as powerful as Lord Krishna. Therefore, if we take the holy name of Krishna, then we can defeat the demons of Kali Yuga. Meaning they will not be able to touch your life. Whatever plan they may make, whatever they will not be able to touch your life. We read again in Chaitanya Charitamrita yesterday how this Chankazi, he came to threaten the devotees. How you have become so bold, you are now practicing your religion openly, freely. How come? And the devotees became afraid. Say will then convert them. So they became afraid. So those who are weak, they become fearful and they are not going to practice, right? But Prabhupada says, Mahaprabhu, he just stood up, right? He just stood up. He says, all right, let's all go. Let's all go and the Chalkazi's house. He stood up. And Prabhupada says, the strength, the power of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu becomes invested in the devotees. So whatever seva we may be doing, and in our own personal life, when we take the name of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when we take the name of Radha Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Prabhupada, we do supernatural things, extraordinary things. Just like Hanuman. Hanuman, he forgot his power, right? He forgot his power because he was cursed. He was so mischievous, he was cursed. So the sages say, you know, what a naughty boy, naughty child, playing so many pranks, and he was going to go and eat the sun, right? So then they said, okay, just take away his power. But when he'll be reminded, then he will be able to jump across Lanka, right? So we are same, mischievous, naughty children, so we have lost our powers. But when we are going to again join back with the power of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then we'll be able to do what is not ordinarily possible for others. Because other people have become stunted. They have lost their power actually. But devotees, they do extraordinary things. Mukham karoti vachalam, panghum langayate girim, yat kripa tahmaham vandeshi guru dinataranam. By mercy of Guru, if we pray, by mercy of Guru, we are able to cross a blind, a layman can cross mountains. A dumb man can speak poetry. Right? So Prabhupada is saying this, the holy name of the Lord is so powerful. Great asura like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu comes and others were very powerful living entities. They were all killed by the Supreme Person Godhead. And the Almighty, where is it? Yeah, there is no one in creation who is not afraid of the rage of the Almighty. I heard, you know, like whenever there has been wars, you know, in the world, I heard that what brought the war to an end was when they came face to face with material nature. Material nature just like stopped them through, you know, snowfall, through hurricane, through God knows what. That's what put an end to the whole war. So the Devas, they're watching us do all our stuff in this world. And we read somewhere, I don't know where we read, whenever there is, maybe in Bhagavatam itself, whenever there is war, we should know the hand of the Supreme Lord is in it. Whenever there is peace, we should know the hand of the Supreme Lord is in it. So the karmic reaction is going on. Therefore, there's wars. But once that karmic reaction is over, the Devas, there is no one in creation who is not afraid of the rage of the Almighty. So this Kali Yuga also, we say it's a very bad age, etc., etc. That's from our point of view. But from the point of view of others, this is the best of ages because you can give full vent to your sinful activities. And nobody is going to say anything to you. Right? Meat eating, intoxication, gambling, and illicit sex. Everybody is like that. So nobody is going to criticize you. Right? So for some people, this is the best of all agents. Hmm? Text 6:15. Yat pada samshayah sutah munaya prasana prashamayanaha satya punantyupash pasprishtaha swardhunya ponusevaya. Anupama Mishra.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Translation. O Suta, those great sages who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them, whereas the water of the Ganges can sanctify only after prolonged use. Purport. Pure devotees of the Lord are more powerful than the water of the sacred river Ganges. One can derive spiritual benefit out of prolonged use of the Ganges waters, but one can be sanctified at once by the mercy of a pure devotee of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that any person, regardless of birth, as Shudra, woman, or merchant, can take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, and by so doing, can return to Godhead. To take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord means to take shelter of the pure devotees. The pure devotees whose only business is serving are honored by the names Prabhupada and Vishnupad, which indicate such devotees to be representatives of the lotus feet of the Lord. Anyone, therefore, who takes shelter of the lotus feet of a pure devotee by accepting the pure devotee as his spiritual master can be at once purified. Such devotees of the Lord are honored equally with the Lord because they are engaged in the most confidential service of the Lord, for they deliver out of the material world the fallen souls whom the Lord wants to return home back to Godhead. Such pure devotees are better known as wise lords, according to revealed scriptures. The sincere disciple of the pure devotee considers the spiritual master equal to the Lord, but always considers himself to be a humble servant of the Lord. This is the pure devotional path.
Okay, so now how to progress. So this is by taking shelter of the lotus feet of a spiritual master. So this is, see, I think I have to repeat it in all my classes. Because maybe I heard it again from Srila Prabhupada in some lecture. And he's explaining how in Kali Yuga, we've already heard how the whole system of Varnashram is completely demolished. And there is so much opposition, you cannot even speak of Varnashram Dharma, right? So therefore, what to do? So in Kali Yuga, there is another system of practice, which is called Pancharatrika Vidhi, because you have there has to be some system of purification. Most of us don't even know about the 16 samskar. I didn't know even today, I can't say all of them, right? We only know of birth, death, and birth date, right? These are the only 3 samskar that we know. When you're born, and then when you get married, and then when you get divorced. I don't know whether there is samskar for it. And then, yeah, what else is there? Yeah, your birth date, right? And then when you die, right?
Janam.
Yeah, that initiation, Janayu and Garbhadharan.
Nobody knows, right? Because we all
Hey,
should.
Janayu, so they do nowadays. That is done. Garbhadharana, nobody does. General practice.
Yeah, so even this solar samskar, we don't know, right? Here and there, some people are doing, oh, what are they doing? I have no idea, you know. So Prabhupada came with his movement, right? He came with his movement. He said, take Diksha, right? Take Diksha. This is your samskar. Promise, vow, you're not going to commit sinful activities, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. Right? And then when you're firmly established in this, then you get this. Second time you get the Diksha. Get Harinam Diksha, then you get what we call here Brahman Diksha, meaning then you're allowed to do the deity seva, right? And everything is done under, Prabhupada is saying, Vishnupad, Prabhupada, under the shelter of the lotus feet of a pure devotee. Srimad Bhagavatam is prescribing the method by which we can progress. All right. It is by taking shelter of the lotus feet of a spiritual master. So take this Diksha, promise no sinful activities, chant the holy name we read in the earlier verse, that all the dangers of this material world is removed simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna. And we become free from that. Like we are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death. I don't know how many lifetimes we can trace out. How many lifetimes can we trace out? They say past, present, future. We read, no, this astrologer, he could say Brigu, right? Brigu, what was that? Anyway, past, present, and future. So how many lifetimes can you trace behind, right? Maybe at the most 7. They say your great-great-great-grandfather, right? And sometime we heard that if you were yourself that great-grandfather who take birth again in your own lineage, right? All that we've heard. So complicated. Samsriti, Ghoram. Too complicated. The cycle of birth and death, too complicated. We don't know when it started. Right? Chant the holy name. How will you get the holy name? You need to be under the shelter of a guru who will guide you and who will engage you in service of the Lord. That's all. A sincere disciple of the pure devotee considers the spiritual master equal to the Lord, but always considered himself to be humble servant of the Lord. This is the pure devotional path. Getting very warmed up and exciting here. Text 16. Kova bhagavatastasya punya shlokedya karmanah shuddhi kamona shrinu yashat kalimalapaham. Ke Anupama Madhvi.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam. Thank you, ma'am. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Who is there desiring deliverance from the vices of the age of quarrel, who is not willing to hear the virtuous glories of the Lord? Purport. The age of Kali is the most condemned age due to its quarrelsome features. Kali Yuga is so saturated with vicious habits that there is a great fight at the slightest misunderstanding. Those who are engaged in the pure devotional service of the Lord, who are without any desire for self-aggrandizement, and who are freed from the effects of fruitive actions and dry philosophical speculations, are capable of getting out of the estrangements of this complicated age. The leaders of the people are very much anxious to live in peace and friendship, but they have no information of the simple method of hearing the glories of the Lord. On the contrary, such leaders are opposed to the propagation of the glories of the Lord. In other words, the foolish leaders want to completely deny the existence of the Lord. In the name of secular state, such leaders are enacting various plans every year. But by the insurmountable intricacies of the material nature of the Lord, all these plans for progress are being constantly frustrated. They have no eyes to see that their attempts at peace and friendship are failing. But here is the hint to get over the hurdle. If we want actual peace, we must open the road to understanding of the Supreme Lord Krishna and glorify him for his virtuous activities as they are depicted in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you.
Here we are. Who is there desiring deliverance from the vices? Allah. Mhm. Vices of the age of quarrel, who is not willing to hear the virtuous glories of the Lord, meaning that what is the solution? And I remember we were speaking of the solar samskar, right? And so many stuff. All this is all out. What is left for us? It is chanting the holy name, accepting a spiritual master, hearing Shrimad Bhagavatam. So characteristic of this Shrimad, of this age of Kali is quarrel. I don't know whether there is any household where there is peace today. Even if there is no cause for quarrel, people are so crazy, they, for no reason, they create quarrel. They are so restless. They are not satisfied with their own happiness. The age of Kali, the most condemned age due to its quarrelsome features. Kali Yuga is so saturated with vicious habits that there is a great fight at the slightest misunderstanding. Those who are engaged in the pure devotional service of the Lord, who are without any desire. Okay, so here qualification are coming. So those who are engaged in the pure devotional service of the Lord, so what are their qualifications? They have no desire for self-aggrandizement. You know, devotees also preachers. Okay, you know, everybody should recognize me, right? Everybody should be obedient to me. Without any desire for self-aggrandizement, who are freed from the effects of fruitive action, meaning their karma. The karma also has become less. And dry philosophical speculation, meaning that they are no longer interested in all this gyan, all these unnecessary discussion and debates. Reading so many books because I want to know. Speculations. Only they're capable of getting out of the estrangements of this complicated age. Complicated age, you know, who can help you? You look at the world today. I mean, I don't know whether any one of you are caught up in whatever disasters are happening. You or your family members are caught up in those disasters that are happening around the world. This is an absolute and total mismanagement of human society, whatever is happening today. Absolute mismanagement. So the leaders, they are bewildered. The leaders of the people are very much anxious to live in peace and harmony. Let us befriend, you know, talk to him, tell him to stop the war, right? See what's going on. Tell him to stop, and I myself am providing all the arms, and I say, you know, just tell them to stop the war. So much hypocrisy going on, right? So the leaders of the people are very much anxious to live in peace and friendship, but they have no information. Here you are. They want to live in peace and friendship, but they don't want to read Srimad Bhagavatam. They don't want to accept propagating Shrimad Bhagavatam. They say this is religion. We want secular state, right? We want secular state. So therefore, they say, no, we know how to surmount all our problems. So here, Bhagavatam is giving the solution to all problems. He says, chant the holy name, spread Shrimad Bhagavatam. They say, no, we have our own method. We don't want this. So they make plan after plan, and they're all defeated. They're completely defeated, but still they don't want to accept. Okay, one last verse. Tasya karmanyudarani parigitani shuribhi bruhinaha shraddhadhananam lilaya dadhattah kalaha. Yes, Ashwini, you are able to read? You're muted.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. Translation. These transcendental acts are magnificent and gracious, and great learned sages like Narada sing of them. Please therefore speak to us who are eager to hear about the adventures he performs in his previous incarnations. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The personality of Godhead is never inactive as some less intelligent persons suggest. His works are magnificent and magnanimous. His incarnations, both material and spiritual, are all wonderful and contain all variegatedness. They are described nicely by such liberated souls as Sri Narad, Vyasadeva, Valmiki, Devala, Sita, Madhav, Sri Chaitanya, Ramanuja, Vishnu Swami, Nimbarka, Sridhar, Vishwanath, Baladev, Bhaktivinod, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and many other learned and self-realized souls. These creations, both material and spiritual, are full of opulence, beauty and knowledge, but the spiritual realm is more magnificent due to its being full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. The material creation are manifested for some time as perverted shadow of the spiritual kingdom and can be likened to cinemas. They attract people of less intelligent caliber who are attracted by false things. Such foolish men have no information of the reality, and they take it for granted that the false material manifestation is the all in all. But more intelligent men, guided by the sage like Vyasa and Narada, know that the eternal kingdom of God is more delightful, larger, and eternally full of bliss and knowledge. Those who are not conversant with the activities of the Lord and his transcendental realm are sometimes favored by the Lord in his adventures as incarnations, wherein he displays the eternal bliss of his association in the transcendental realm. I'll read this line again, Mataji. Those who are not conversant with the activities of the Lord and his transcendental realm are sometimes favored by the Lord in his adventures as incarnations, wherein he displays the eternal bliss of his association in the transcendental realm. By such, this means those who are not conversant, he gives them a chance. Is
Yeah.
it that, Mataji?
Yes, yeah. Yes. So he comes and
Oh.
displays his activities. Right?
To those who are not, okay, not only to devotees, but those who are non-devotees also.
Those who are not conversant with the activities of the Lord.
Activities of the
and his
Lord.
present Well, it doesn't mean, see, like Kamsa saw Krishna, he didn't appreciate him, right? Duryodhana saw Krishna, he didn't appreciate him. It
Yeah.
is the devotees,
Oh,
not conversant with Krishna, but they saw
okay.
it. Oh, this is the Krishna, and there is his abode. So they got attracted, right? Not everybody was attracted by Krishna.
By such activities, he attracts the conditioned souls of the material world. Some of these conditioned souls are engaged in the false enjoyment of material senses, and others in simply negating their real life in the spiritual world. These less intelligent persons are known as karmis or fruity workers, and gyanis or dry mental speculators. But above these two classes of men is the transcendentalist known as Sattvata, Sattvat, or the devotee who is busy neither with rampant material activity nor with material speculation. He is engaged in the positive service of the Lord, and thereby he derives the highest spiritual benefit unknown to the karmis and gyanis.
Get
As
it?
the supreme control,
Yeah, you got it? What Prabhupada is saying?
yeah,
Meaning that the
yeah,
Gyanis and Karmis, they're not going to be attracted, right? It's the devotees who are attracted,
it. Mm.
right? Like Damodar Leela is going on, and every temple, Yashoda Damodar is there. And what are we all
Yeah.
doing? We are running and just looking at him, right? Right?
Mm.
Leela is happening, right? Leela is happening. So even though there are so many deities, we appreciate all the deities, but everyone is just, oh, what's going on there with Yashoda and baby Damodar, right? The Leela.
Yeah.
The Gyani Karmi, they just look and they are not attracted. But the devotees, I see all the kids are running and just looking, you know. We are chanting japa and the kids are running and just looking. Oh, Mother Yashoda's binding Krishna.
Yeah. True. As the supreme controller of both the material and spiritual worlds, the Lord has different incarnations of unlimited categories. Incarnations like Brahma, Rudra, Manu, Pruthu, and Vyas are his mental qualitative incarnations,
But
but his
material
incarnations,
is material
his material qualitative incarnations. But his incarnations like Ram, Narasimha, Varaha, and Vaman are his transcendental incarnations. Lord Sri Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnations, and he is therefore the cause of all causes.
Yeah, so just next to Rama is they have put, Yashoda Damodar, and after you see Yashoda Damodar, oh Rama, if Yashoda
Oh,
Damodar was not there, you won't think about it, but now they're just next to it. Oh, it's very like, oh, such a different rasa. Right? You have to change, you have to switch gear from Yashoda Damodar to Ramchandra, right?
acha.
So yes, there are sort of things. Okay, when you're in trouble, when you need a manager, then you run to Ramachandra. Right, the king. Then you run to him, but otherwise, oh, baby Krishna. All right.
So much variegated.
So Prabhupada is saying that there are different incarnations. So there's the material qualitative incarnation, then there is magnificent incarnation, transcendental incarnation like Rama, Narasimha, Varaha, Vamana, but Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnation, and therefore he's the cause of all causes. Right? Everybody's losing their funds now. Now only Yashoda Damodar is attracting everybody.
Yeah, Kartik month, such a peaceful.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Kalpatarubhischa Kripa Sindhueva Chakritana. So we'll meet again next week.